Good morning.
Good morning, I'm Carl Mingers, and
Let's
this is
make
Aaron Burns.
sure.
We are WRME Live. December 6th, episode 241. Man, this year just flew by, didn't it?
It has.
It is, it's crazy. Big news from yesterday is the FinCEN forms that are required by the first of the year were declared unconstitutional in the Supreme Court of Texas, which is a federal deal. Okay.
So I don't have to worry about those now?
So I'm going to find out today, but that is what they're saying this morning on all the news, all the buzz news.
Because I was
and
going to get with you later today, too, and be like, I still got to do that.
Well, we on one of our corporations, boom, went right through. The other 7, reject. We've spent all week on this stuff. It's just nuts. I don't have time, because like I told James Langford on Facebook,
Right.
I said, dude, anybody that needs to know this information already knows it. It's all registered with the state.
Know it.
Right. It's all public knowledge. It's not like they're trying to sneak around and do stuff, and they think it's going to reduce fraud.
We have our tax ID numbers.
Got your tax ID number. It's going to be registered with the state. It's just so silly to add another level, and then there's no phone number that you can call when something doesn't go right or you're automatically rejected. There's no phone number to call.
But they'll get their fine.
First of all, that reeks to me because I think, all right, what kind of fraud scam thing is this? Is it for real? Who is it?
Well, nobody I talked to, when you found out about it, and then I found out about it, and the people I talked to, none of us knew about it.
Right. It's like this secret thing, and the fines are just stupid, like $500 a day. After January 1.
Up to 100,000 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Which is just a pre-manufactured way to put a whole lot of people out of business. And that's just dumb. It's just dumb.
Because I couldn't have afforded, that would have just wiped out my LLC.
That's what it does. It just caused a bunch of people just close them down. Which we don't start LLCs for the fun of it.
No.
Everything is for a legitimate business purpose. So you have proper recording to the IRS. You have a tax number. Everything is tracked and reported and channeled through certain ways. It's just frustrating to add another layer of crap.
Well, and for us smaller ones, it helps protect our personal stuff.
Right.
Because we're small. We don't, we're not making tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah, I used to think, having a corporation, that's big,
Or having
almost
an
everybody
LLC
that has an investment
whatever,
property or more has an LLC. If you have a lawn mowing company, you have an LLC. Just to limit your liabilities. And then a lot of people go further, setting those LLCs up in trusts and stuff like that. That's levels of stuff way above my head that you have to hire people to do that. It may not be that difficult, but it is above my scale.
I'm not there yet.
And I know investors, like the one we were talking to last week that just bought this land over on East Mustang.
Right.
He's got everything. He owns millions of dollars worth of property, and he's got it in him and his wife's trust, and no LLCs, no anything else. And I'm like, dude, you probably need to talk to somebody that knows about this stuff. Take about $10,000, set it aside, and say, okay, I want this set up as a trust. I want these set up individually as LLCs, and spend that money just to protect yourself.
Oh yeah.
Because we're in a litigious, litigious society, that'll see you at the drop of a sock, and just, it's just frustrating that you have to protect yourself like this. But nowadays you got to do it. You just got to do it. In real estate, we've got the interest rates are slipping down. You know,
Yes.
we've actually got some lenders in the 5 range, okay, which is exciting news.
Yes.
After the 7 to 9% stuff out there, gosh, it's just good to see. I think some agents out there still have some houses overpriced just because of interest rates and the affordability.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is still used to what we had a few years ago, where everybody was fighting for properties. We still have a housing shortage, no doubt about that.
Right.
We definitely have an affordable housing shortage. Okay. I'm surprised there aren't more starter homes being built. Big news: Ross Coleman bought out by.
Oh, shoot! Now that you said that, I can't think of the name of it.
Lennar.
Lennar, yes.
Lennar. And that's a big deal. That makes Mr. Coleman
Very
a billionaire.
Wealthy.
Instantly.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and I have no qualms with that. That's that's
Good
why
for
you
him.
build a business,
Yes.
is so you can sell it and go do what you want to do. Or go start another building company.
Or
Whatever.
like go start another business.
Yeah. It's kind of comical. I've seen a lot of businesses be bought and sold over the years. I don't know. You remember Mr. Gasket in the
Yes.
automotive industry?
Yep.
Mr. Gasket sold in the 80s to a big corporation, okay? And they paid a ridiculous amount of money for it. And the guy that had Mr. Gasket and developed it from nothing, after 2 or 3 years, he got bored, had all this money. So he goes back to his financial advisor and he goes, well, why don't you just buy a company? He goes, well, I don't want to start a company again. He said, well, why don't you just buy your old company? He goes, oh, I can't afford to buy that. He goes, well, they've run it into the ground and you can pick it up for 15 to 20 cents on the dollar.
Oh my
So
gosh.
he went back and bought Mr. Gasket. It's a big deal. And you see companies buy things and run them into the ground, and you're like, how can they even afford to do that? I've seen that in the oil industry.
Yes.
When I ran a company over here off of Reno, and the mother company that was out of Odessa, Texas, and they sold everything to Cameron International. Cameron International came in and changed the way we did everything, and we never made another dime profit-wise. It was just so frustrating. And they're a multinational company.
Because they know better.
They know more than we could possibly ever know. And that's kind of the way I feel sometimes in real estate. You get these people that they think they know because they've seen all these little seminars and all these little $99 courses on Facebook, and they just, and you got to be wary of all these how you learn to
Yes.
be a billionaire overnight things. So,
And I've explained this to people. Just because someone has something that works for them, or they have 1 or 2 Airbnbs that works for them, they might buy a third and it might flop, or a fourth and it might flop. Just because it works for them doesn't mean it's going to work for you.
Yeah, and most of those deals, franchises generally have a better chance of surviving because there's an established system.
Mm-hmm.
But it costs a lot to buy any franchise, okay?
And it costs a lot to keep that going every month.
But 95% of all small businesses fail in 5 years, okay? That doesn't mean you shouldn't try, okay?
Don't be afraid to try.
But most people, well, first of all, you got to find something you love to do.
Yes.
That's why I sit in there on the computer analyzing properties. I love doing that
And
stuff.
it takes hard work.
It does.
And you're gonna.
I went home last night and my eyeball's about to fall out. I did so much research the last 3 days. We've got the big Robinson project
Right.
downtown. Got investors coming into town because the Mustang Yukon market, hottest market in the
Yes.
state, especially for commercial, and these people are coming in from out of state because they see the numbers in Mustang. Like this guy over here on Hilltop. from New Jersey,
Yep.
New Jersey, or the boys,
Say it right.
the boys' choice
Say
in
it
New
right.
Jersey.
Right.
Okay, 0.6 of an acre, not even 3/4 of an acre is how much you have to build a house on its own lot, unless it's platted. Okay, paid $20,000, or a guy bought it for $20,000, sold it for 45 to a guy from New Jersey. They have it listed for 92 for not a half an acre. Okay, and it's got a shack on it that needs to be tore down. You know, they don't understand. They see these numbers on the internet and everything else.
Right.
Just because you know, Sarah Homestead is
Right.
getting $80,000 a lot doesn't mean
You
you're
are.
going to get that in Carroll
Right.
Acres. Okay, you know, and you bring these investors from out of state, which it really kind of messes our market up.
It does.
It's comical to see, and I hate to see anybody lose money, but when you got so much money that you can afford to do stupid stuff like that,
Oh yeah.
you know, you probably need to lose some money once in a while just to straighten your act out.
You know, some of them don't care because they love me on Texas.
You know, then we've got people out there making offers on property, you know, reasonable offers. Then they come back, oh, well, an engineering study or environmental study, whatever, we're going to offer you a third. Okay? And you're like, you've tied this up
No.
for a year, and, you know, that's, I have low tolerance for that.
Yeah.
And when I'm working with the seller, you know, I'm like, hey, you know, we need to be wary of this. We need to be wary of this.
Yes.
You know, unfortunately, in Mustang, it takes a long time to get things through the planning commission
Yes.
and to the city.
And that's not
City
just
Council.
Mustang. That's
Well,
every
Mustang's a little
city
bit
sometimes.
further behind than others,
They are, unfortunately.
and it's frustrating.
But I've seen it take time in Oklahoma City too.
Oh yeah, well,
So
but Yukon, boom, boom, boom. But look at the expansion in Yukon.
yeah, look how fast they're growing
It's just
now.
going. But it goes to the planning commission, to the city council in 30 to 60 days, where we're looking, you know, 60 to 90 to 120
Mm-hmm.
days. And part of that is a controlled growth thing. But then you get all these people
Well, I
on,
was going to say, it
on
depends
Facebook
on who's
going,
fighting.
well, why don't we have a big steakhouse? Why don't we have this? Why don't we have that?
Well, and it depends on where it's going and if the neighborhood's fighting it, who's fighting it, you
Mhm.
know. So that doesn't help either.
Yeah, and you know, we had that $29 million deal over there where the airport is, and 5 residential people close to it killed that deal. You know, that would have been such a boon for the economy.
Right.
But, you know, that's the way this stuff works. And you know, you wouldn't believe all the people that got mad at me for bringing in the Dollar General on the west side of town.
But that's the thing. If you know something's coming in, even if you're against it, if you're for it, you can go to those
You can
planning
speak up.
commission meetings
Yeah.
and voice your positivity for something. Even if you're not directly in, you know, connection with the property, you can go and say you're for something. Your voice matters. So,
Yeah, you know, the Dollar General on the west side of Mustang, you just,
I love that one down there.
You know,
it's
if-
nice.
it's, of course, it's understaffed, but it's always busy. You know, and, you know, if you're from the west side of Mustang or way south of Mustang, you don't want to drive through the traffic to get to Walmart or any of that stuff
Or
over
even
there.
the Walmart and Yukon, you got to drive
Yeah.
through traffic to get
You
to
just
it.
buzz up here to Dollar General. I mean, I know they're a dime a dozen, they're everywhere, but they generally have all your basic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And for all the grief that I've received, I mean, people that have personally said, you know, we like keeping the west side of Mustang small. But I see them at that Dollar General buying their milk and their bread and
Right.
whatever. You're like, okay. It's awful convenient, you know, and half the price of 7-Eleven.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just the way things work.
I get Dollar Generals all the time when I'm at the lake. It saves me from going into a town to a Walmart.
Well, you know, I made a mistake this last week. I went grocery shopping. I told Dia, I said, you just stay home. I'll take care of the grocery shopping.
Oh.
On December
Oh.
1st.
Oh.
What an idiot.
Never go to a Walmart on the first of
On
the
the
month.
first of the month. Oh my God. And of course I have 2 carts full of stuff, and they got one checkout line. And it's backed up through the ladies department. You know, I stood there and looked at ladies' underwear for 10 minutes waiting on this line. You know, it's just stupid. You know, but that's the way it works.
Never ever go to Walmart on the first of the month.
No. What do you think of this cold weather?
I hate it.
Ick.
I hate it.
After being in Florida,
I hate it.
it's hard to come
I
back
hate
to
it.
this. Yeah.
Miserable.
Well, what else we got to talk about today?
None.
I'll quit bitching about stuff, you know.
Christmas is coming up.
Christmas is coming up. Everybody's
New
got
Year.
Christmas parties. We got a Rotary Christmas party. You know.
If you need good presents, not this weekend, but next weekend on the 14th, gun show. Be out there setting
That's
set
Fairground?
up with selling T-shirts. Yeah.
Hmm.
So come see me.
You know, I haven't been to a gun show in years. I need to go.
I have T-shirts, non-profit T-shirts for good cause. So.
All right. Well, we're about ready to wrap this up.
Yep.
All right. Well, folks, you know, comment on our videos. You know, I mean, this episode 241. That's a whole lot.
It is.
Okay. You know, we probably should do them more often, but we're busy.
I was
Okay.
like, twice a month sometimes is hard.
Yeah.
So.
But let us know what you want to hear about or what you want to see. If you have a question or concern, you know, let's look it over and let's figure this stuff out. You know, that's what we're here for.
Yep.
You know? So, all right. Well, we are WRMA Live. We are Main Edge, where we do real life, real world real estate every day. Come see us.
Bye, y'all.